supported. A former chief of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration called the Afghan opium trade a huge challenge in the world. Americans and the British are directly harmed by it. Afghan heroin is a favorite among addicts because it's a potent form of heroin and increasingly available. I spent 2000 through 2007 shuttling back and forth between Afghanistan and the United States, with detours to Iran and Pakistan. The majority of my time was spent traveling through Afghanistan. During that time, I witnessed the country shift from a religious autocracy to a fragmented democracy and, finally, to a land at full-scale war. The result of that war has been dependence on an illicit narcotics trade without which the Afghanistan economy would collapse. For the opium trade is the underground Afghan economy, an all-encompassing market that directly affects the daily lives of Afghans in a way that nothing else does. Ghorian district, Daria's childhood home, is full of individuals and families with stories few have heard. The Afghan women who live there are not the weak, voiceless victims they are so often made out to be in the Western media. Since they see themselves as part of their family units, Afghan women rarely demand individual rights as women, something uncommon in the West. During my time in Ghorian, these women, including Daria, showed me just how powerful they were and how capable of overcoming their problems. The effect of the opium trade in Ghorian is very real, yet Ghorian is not the only place where the drug trade resides. In some places, the trade is destroying lives, in others saving them. During my time in Afghanistan, I was drawn to cities and villages where some chose this illegal business, while local warlords force others to dive into it. Opium is everywhere. In the addict beggars on the streets, in the poppies planted in home gardens, in the opium widows hidden from drug lords in neighbors' homes, in the hushed conversations of drug dealers in shops, in the unmarked graves in cemeteries, and in the drug lords' garish opium mansions looming above brick shacks and mounds of dust. The dust is a reminder of the destroyed land that opium money seems unable to transform into cement, asphalt, or water. In this book, I've changed many of the names to protect the people I write about. In Afghanistan, revealing identities does not just invade privacy, but also endangers lives. I also try not to focus on the ethnic rivalries in Afghanistan that have, to my mind, been overemphasized and overanalyzed in the West, though it is impossible to ignore them. After September 11, 2001, many Americans were anxious to know whether I was Pashtun, Tajik, or another minority group. I'd stare at them confused and say simply that I was from Herat. The years I spent working in Afghanistan were the most dangerous and exciting of my life thus far. The action-packed sequence of events I experienced there tested my will to live and set me on a journey to see if the passion I held for my birthplace and its people was rooted in the present or lost in the past. 1. Home after 18 years. Flies buzz and circle my face. I swat them away as I slowly look up to see a dozen men watching me outside the visa building. I'm standing in line at the Iranian border, waiting to cross into my home country, Afghanistan. Men stare at my face and hands. My hair and the rest of my body are covered in a headscarf, slacks, and a long coat, in observance of Iran's dress requirements for women. I keep my eyes to the ground to avoid the ogling. An Iranian border agent calls out my name. My hands tremble as I give him my Afghan passport, perhaps the least useful travel document in the world. I've hidden my American passport in my bra. Iran restricts visas for American citizens, and the Taliban are wary of Afghan women returning from the United States. "Where are you coming from?" the agent asks with a serious face. "Pakistan." "What are you doing there?" "I work for a charity organization." "I actually work for a Pakistani think tank as an English editor, and am a freelancer writing articles about Afghan refugees in Pakistan for American media outlets."